they get locked into that format and no one trusts them. And then they leave and they go, yeah, but you were just lying to us about this, that, and the other thing. And now I'm supposed to believe you're one of the good guys. You're one of the straight shooters now.
Yeah.
As Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg is desperate to restore his image, he returned to the Joe Rogan podcast, where he started off sounding reasonable.
You only start one of these companies if you believe.
Did he get destroyed by Joe Rogan? I didn't watch this interview yet.
People a voice, right? I mean, the whole point of social media is basically, giving people the ability to share what they want.
But it's hard to tell, as this appears to be the same thing he said in another seemingly scripted speech.
I started building social media to give people a voice.
I don't 100% trust much of what he says, especially as many genius-tier programmers aren't the most natural communicators. So I imagine Meta's PR team gave him very specific talking points to protect the company's image. But I do appreciate how he immediately went into Decoy Voice was right the entire time.
It was during the Biden administration when they were trying to roll out the vaccine program. And I'm generally pretty pro rolling out vaccines. I think on balance, the vaccines are more positive than negative, but they pushed us super hard.
Zuck still looks like a lizard, but with a bussin' haircut.
Thanks, Gregory. Thank you so much for the sub. Thank you.
Were true, right? I mean, they basically pushed us and said, anything that says that vaccines might have side effects, you basically need to take down. Inarguably true.
Wait, hold on. Wait, what?
Damn, look at the quality of that synthetic
Chill.
skin on the Zook.
Hold on. Thank you for the bits, Yoshi, but wait, hold on. He's saying that, he had to take it down? Why did he have to do it?
Who's they?
Who's they? Exactly.
Thank
you, Joe.
Things that
it was
that talk about vaccine side effects.
It was people in the Biden administration. These people from the Biden administration would call up our team and
Okay, guys, is this what happened? Hold on. I'm trying to think about how this makes sense. He was pressured by the Biden administration. Did the Biden administration basically threaten him and say you need to take this shit down or we're gonna fuck up your company? We're gonna go after your company if you don't do it. And so Zuck was basically scared. So then he was now that Biden got voted out and now that the Dems are voted out and Trump's gonna be in, now I can just tell the truth. Is that literally what's going on?
Scream at them and curse, and it's these documents.
He's fuck it now.
It's all kind of out there.
Did you record any of those phone calls?
I don't think we. They wanted us to take down this meme of Leonardo DiCaprio looking at a TV talking about how 10 years from now or something, you're gonna see an ad that says, okay, if you took a COVID vaccine, you're eligible for, and they're like, no,
those
you have to
fucking law things.
take that down.
Now, I wasn't on Meta much before, but I do recall the same issues on this platform, as many of you started watching me during the lockdowns and how I was almost more of a sports guy, talking about the hypocrisy of what was happening to Kyrie Irving and the Brooklyn Nets, constantly fighting soft censorship, and I was simply pointing out the
Isn't it crazy how, in the last, since, I want to say, 2018, has been an acceleration in conspiracy theories becoming true. It's actually fucking crazy. It's all the conspiracy theories are turning out to be real.
Stupidity of how since Kyrie didn't take the vaccine, he was only allowed to travel with the team and play in every other city except his home games in Brooklyn. But Brooklyn somehow still allowed him to buy tickets and sit courtside, all because he didn't take a shot that we now know didn't stop transmission.
First of all, you don't get the vaccine for yourself, you get it for other people. I really am proud of the Nets for putting their foot down. For saying, no, we're not going to deal with this half on, half off.
And I wasn't even trying to tell anybody do or do not take a certain medicine. I was just pointing out how nonsensical their arguments were. But if you dared point that out on Facebook, you'd be shadow banned just because.
I always thought it was crazy, the whole thing with the COVID coming from a city that has a fucking lab that studies coronaviruses and it being it came from a cave with bats. That's fucking weird.
That's inconvenient for Biden, all since his so-called fact-checkers stated otherwise.
We're all right, we're just gonna have this system where there's these third-party fact-checkers and they can...
we could have stopped, a lot of it from hitting, if we just went on that real fast and we quarantined China out, we could have stopped a lot of it early.
Check the worst of the worst stuff, right? So we put in place the system and it just sort of veered from there. I think to some degree, it's because some of the people whose job is to do fact checking, a lot of their industry is focused on
gain of function research,
political fact checking. So they're just kind of...
How much you guys want to bet, though, that they're just going to keep doing more gain of function research? How much you want to bet they're just going to keep doing it?
Veered in that
We're going to keep funding it, and they're going to keep doing it, even though it already fucked us over. It didn't fuck us over enough.
direction. I kind of think, like, after having gone through that whole exercise, it
like, can you imagine though how much COVID, like just in general, how much COVID has fucked people over? Like the existence of COVID, like how many businesses went under, how many people's lives were ruined from it. It's like, it's crazy.
I don't know. It's something out of like,
and no one is going to be accountable for it at all.
Don't
Literally
look where
nobody.
Lyme disease came from.
Everybody's going to get away with it 100%. Thanks for the follow, Arkan. Thank you.
1984, one of these books where it's just like, it really is a slippery slope. And it just got to a point where,
all the people that got in trouble for saying stuff about COVID and saying all these things, these true things about COVID that we know now to be true, they all got in trouble, and there's going to be no repercussions for the people that busted them.
It's just, okay, this is destroying so much trust, especially in the United States, to have this program. And I guess it was probably about a few years that I really started coming to the conclusion that we were going to need to change something about that.
And of course, this upsets Biden.
Of walking away from fact-checking, I find to be just contrary to American.
I honestly think that on the fact-checking thing, I actually like the way that X does it with like the community notes. I really like that system.
Justice American, the way we...
But why would you trust these people? Right? Like, why allow them to fact-check? It doesn't make any fucking sense.
Talk about one another. Telling the truth, man.
When like they've lied so much already, and we know for sure that they've lied. Thanks for the prime, Rucus. Thank you.
It's scary how close we got to 4 more years of leadership that fears the effects of when regular people can question them, as they never cry for fact-checking flat earthers or Berenstein Bear believers. It only seems to be when you and me start to get close to things that they're desperate for us not to notice. As right now, Los Angeles is getting hit with record wildfires, so California Governor Gavin Newsom is begging Biden to block the bad press.
I ask you, we've got to deal with this misinformation. There are hurricane force winds of mis and disinformation lies. And it breaks my heart as people are suffering and struggling that we're up against those hurricane forces as well.
So real quick, as I'm editing this video and I'm re-watching Governor Gavin Newsom compare the hurricane
The issue with fact-checking is that who determines what is true. People are fallible, so accurate fact-checking is likely to be impossible. All it eventually devolves into is silencing ideas those responsible for fact-checking don't agree with.
See, that's why I like the community notes system, because it's like really transparent.
That are destroying people's lives right now to these so-called hurricane force lies about his administration. I just want to take this moment to say, fuck you.
No, Newsom. It's not mis or disinformation when Fox News calls you out for cutting the fire department's budget. And even though Newsom replied, "This was a lie. We doubled the size of our firefighting army. I'm serving the facts," he's straight ignoring how Fox News explicitly acknowledged the increases. They were writing about the recent cuts, to which even their own fire department's chief complained about.
Yes, we took a $17 million budget cut. And as we know, any budget cut would negatively impact our ability to carry out our mission.
And that wasn't the only time.
Did the city of Los Angeles fail you and your department and our city?
It's my job to stand up as a chief and exactly say justifiably what the fire department needs to operate to meet the demands of the community.
Did they fail you?
That is our job, and I tell you, that's why I'm here. So let's get us what we need so our firefighters can do their jobs.
Did they fail you?
Yes.
As recently as 5 days ago, they wrote about
They had to ask it like 3 times.
A nearly 15 million.
She like did not want to say it because it was probably like gonna get like some of the higher ups pissed off.
budget reduction that could close 16 fire stations. The chief even complained about the $7 million of cuts just over a month ago, and 6 months before that, she documented the $17 million cut from the year before. Governor Gavin Newsom has the gall to go to Biden telling him to cut Americans' constitutional rights.
While community notes are probably the best method, it just more obfuscates the issue. If the community becomes biased, then they will fall into the same pitfalls.
The state reservoir here in Southern California, that mis and disinformation, I don't think advantages or aids any.
I mean, I just can't think of a better method than that, really, Yoshi. It's like, what do you even do, like, beyond that?
We do know, though, from reporting here locally that one reservoir that serves the Palisades was not full.
And that's exactly what triggered my desire to get the investigation.
Because community notes just gives context, right? Because they always have to post like a link of like the actual info.
So what he calls disinformation
so people can see it themselves.
Is just information that disses the Democrats. And again, I don't go as far to blame them over natural disasters, but I won't ignore their contributions to the carnage. And even though they claim to not want to make this tragedy political, his party leaders rushed to the internet to fundraise off of the disaster.
Jeez.
Correctly call them out for linking a Democrat platform that takes 3.95% of all transactions, but also pointing out how their link also gives money to United Way. You know, the same United Way that has a long history of CEOs stealing money. The same United Way that took in $21 million of contributions, but somehow paid out $22 million to themselves, as several of their scumbag leaders collect over $200,000 salaries, with their CEO close to $1 million.
This is why I don't give to charities, by the way, if you were wondering. This is why I don't donate to any fucking charities or anything like that. If I'm gonna give money, I'm gonna give it directly to people that need it. Individual people. In my community and in my family and friends and stuff. That's who I'm going to give it to. Because I don't trust any of these fuckers at all.
I don't want to get too distracted by United Way.
I get asked all the time. You guys have no idea. My email box is filled. Can you do this charity stream for us? Like, we're a charity stream. We got a charity stream. Like, we got a charity stream coming up. Gamers for this, gamers for that, gamers for this, gamers for that. Like, so many charity streams. I don't fucking trust them. That's why I don't do it. If there was like a cause I knew about, like say a local food bank who reached out to me and said, "Hey, Leaf, could you do a charity stream for our food bank, like to serve like, you know, your local area?" I'd fucking do it. Or maybe I wouldn't, because if it was my local food bank, then it would be easy to know where I live. So maybe I wouldn't do that. But you get what I mean, though. You get what I mean. I would do it if it was like something like that.
I just have personal bad experiences with that specific so-called charity during my college years. And the fact that the Democrats are using a mass tragedy that they contributed to as a way to pay...
I don't know. I'm just more of a fan of taking care of like local stuff, I guess. I don't know. I guess there are some stuff I'd like to give to you, like
Remember, Maui burned and they got $700 at most and are selling the land to BlackRock. Tennessee and North Carolina was destroyed by a hurricane, and while FEMA is pulling support from families there that are still homeless, they're rushing to Cali and calling the current
administration leader says that they're part of the federal family. Do you remember that thing where they had explicit orders to not help people that were Trump supporting? You guys remember that? That's crazy. That's fucking so crazy. Thanks for the bits are cool. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I just don't trust them. Like I would like to give to like something like a like maybe like those like cancer research stuff. Like I'd maybe do something for that. But then like then again, I'd have to know them like really well. I'd have to know like the person who runs it or something like that. You know, like I don't trust that like I'm gonna do this thing for them and then it's actually gonna go to like a good thing. Like it's actually gonna go to like where it needs to go. Which is why, again, like I kind of trust like local stuff more. Local, like local, and then friends and family, like kind of smaller level of charity, I think is better because then I can know where it's going.
Some of those salaries enrages me. But back to the main point of Meta and Mark Zuckerberg potentially turning the corner. The New York Times report.
Well, I mean, even Children's Hospital, like what does that mean? Right, Voodoo Master, like for instance, like if you donate to Children's Hospital, what is that going to? Is that going to like trans stuff for kids? Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what it's going to. Like, I need to know what it's going to.
The tampons out of their...
I don't like writing blank checks to people.
bathrooms. They reportedly removed certain themes from their messenger app, and Zuckerberg actually flew out to talk to Trump in Mar-a-Lago.
Jeff Bezos came, Bill Gates came, Mark Zuckerberg.
I just want to be clear, by the way, just in case anybody took that out of context and they're going to say I hate trans people. I have no problem with trans people doing stuff when they're adults. I have no problem with it. I just don't think that kids are honestly, kids are fucking stupid, in my opinion. They're stupid. They're stupid as fuck. Why would I trust them? I thought I was a dinosaur when I was a kid.
Zuckerberg came.
And a plant. I told everyone I was a plant, that I could photosynthesize. And I'd lay on the grass and be like, I'm photosynthesizing right now. Don't leave me alone.
Many of them came numerous times. The bankers have all come. Everybody's coming.
Now, I don't know exactly what happened there, but I am glad they're doing it, as that's just a long list of people that actively work.
No, it's because I thought Spar from Breath of Fire 2 was really cool.
Against Donald Trump during the election.
I thought dryads were really cool and stuff.
Well, now flying in to kiss the ring, I don't necessarily see it as a bad thing. As when Joe Rogan posted about Zuckerberg's visit on Meta-owned Instagram, people called out how Mark would be doing the opposite if Kamala won. How this is just a PR move and they don't trust him. And getting a
too much Knights of Sidonia. True.
And putting on a chain doesn't make you any more likable. Now, this is just a coincidence. This is a cheap chain from Amazon, and even though I appear Asian, my hair is naturally this curly. I just use this thing called not knowing who your biological father is. So no, I don't necessarily like Mark Zuckerberg, but I do appreciate him finally speaking the truth. I don't like what he's done, but I do want him to be better, as there's plenty of people on Facebook and Instagram that have been shielded from reality. So finally going on Instagram is our first opportunity to actually speak to them. And as Joe Rogan showed, those Meta sunglasses are actually kinda cool. I was gifted a pair for Christmas, and actually used them a lot during my travels.
Wait, what did they do?
This isn't an endorsement or anything, but it always annoys me when liberals despise Elon Musk so much that they literally hope SpaceX and Starlink fail just because they don't agree politically with—
Yeah, that's pretty cringe. Why would you want Starlink to fail? It means you can have internet everywhere. That's fucking badass. And also SpaceX is pretty badass too. Obviously, I want SpaceX to do well so that we can have a... Dude, we need to get on the Mars colony, guys. We need to get there first so we can get the mechs before everyone else. You know, like those badass fucking Mars mechs, dude? And then we can start like our own... we can start our own kingdom on Mars. And then we attack Earth later. It'll be sick, guys. It'll be sick.
The CEO. Meta sunglasses seem cool, so I hope the company can continue.
No, that's the plot. That's the plot to All Noah Zero.
Back on censorship, as apparently right now on Facebook and Instagram, they're allowing people to say things I'm definitely censoring here, which compared to places like TikTok, where Jeffrey explains the difference between them and Twitter, where he just posted a video about that Los Angeles fire chief that previously said this.
Is she strong enough to do this? Or you couldn't carry my husband out of a fire.
Dude, they sound so fucking offended. They sound so offended. You can't carry my husband. I like how it's like you can't dude, this is so funny because it's like you can't carry my husband out of a fire, and the rebuttal isn't yes I can. The rebuttal is yeah, well he fucked up. It's not even that like, wait, what are you talking about? I can carry him out of the fire. That wasn't even the rebuttal. The rebuttal is like, you're right, but fuck him anyway. That was the actual rebuttal.
Response is
unreal.
Myself in the wrong place if I have to carry him out of a fire.
And his video was removed from TikTok for bullying. Now it's easy
bullying.
To say, okay, TikTok doesn't want our voices, so let's stick to Twitter. But I don't want that to be the
But wait, hold on, bullying? Aren't they the ones bullying in the video? Isn't the original video bullying? Because the original video is saying like you're too stupid to be safe. God, these people have no consistency. Unreal.
There's still a huge amount of people that only go on TikTok or Instagram that have never even wanted a Twitter. And when we isolate the two sides on separate sites, that's when we end up with a society that lives in two separate...
These people need to fucking check themselves, you know what I mean?
Realities. So if you're on X, you know how the politicians are using...
Okay guys, I know this is bad. So don't listen to me. But like sometimes I feel like, man... Sometimes I feel like people just need like a good old fucking old school ass whooping. You know, I don't know. I just feel like I feel like
tragedy to skim off donations. But if you're on TikTok,
people need like a fucking reality check. You know, like fucking real reality check.
Fire hydrants ran out of water. So when Zuckerberg goes on Joe Rogan to admit his mistakes, I don't shake my fist and call for his exile, as you don't have to trust what he's saying.
I don't actually mean it's bad. I think
Why
violence is bad.
Why is that a controversial take that is just true?
Violence is bad, guys. Unless it's in Marvel Rivals, then it's okay.
But him saying this is...
Or if it's in self-defense, and it's double okay.
First step to us winning the culture war. So if you appreciate my concise, lighthearted commentary on the tragic status that is today's reality, hopefully I've earned your subscription, then go check out the video on how they tried to lie about the fires in LA, but were quickly exposed.
Man. I don't know, like, what happened. Like, did people...
There are now hazmat teams working with fire teams because the fires are getting so bad, they're reaching storages of lithium batteries for...
What happened? Like, did parenting go wrong or something? Like, did we fuck up on... Did society just fuck up on parenting, like, at one point in time? Like, what happened? I just don't understand. Like, why do people act like this, you know? Like, lead? Oh, yeah, true. We can blame the lead guy. What's his name? Fucking, I forgot his name already. The lead guy. Yeah, the leaded gasoline guy. Daycare generation. Oh, actually, when did that happen? That's true. Maybe daycare is the issue. It could be.
Outsourcing parenting to iPads and public school teachers.
Sourcing parenting to iPads and public school too. You guys want to know one thing I think is like incredibly cringe, by the way? There's like this whole like school of parenting that's like, oh, like, you know, my kid is like a person still, and like, you know, they deserve to like, you know, be their own person. I don't think so. I think that's stupid. I think kids are retarded. Kids are retarded. They need to be corralled by people. They need to be corralled by people and told to stop being stupid. You know, like I don't like this whole idea of, you know what I mean? Like, there's like a whole thing of like, oh, you know, like adults basically negotiating with their children. Do you know that? Do you guys know what I mean? Like being like super nice and like, I need to know, oh, you know what? You know what? Maybe I just need to listen to my child. No, you shouldn't listen to your child. Your child doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about. Like, what are you doing? Like, if your child is out of line, you need to ground them. They need to be like grounded. They know nothing. You're not getting, like, I hate this whole like, oh, you're acting up. Like, if you
As Gwendolyn said, the boomer mentality that World War II was a bookend of history and everything that came before it is old-fashioned has a
This is the most cringe thing. I've seen this like on social media and stuff. This is the most cringe thing when they're like, your kid is like acting up, and you tell your kid like, stop acting up and I'll get you ice cream. Dude, that's so freaking retarded. Like, what the fuck? If your kid is acting up, you tell them to stop, or they're fucking gonna get locked in their room. No phone or no nothing, no TV for like a week. Yes, step one, act up. Step two, get reward. Yeah, exactly. It's the fault of the hippies. You end up like Aaron Cartman. Like parents need to teach their kids like fucking like gratitude and respect.